Good Thursday morning and welcome back to a new video. New work week video, midweek work video, whatever I'm calling them. Let's see what's up in the garden here. Lettuces are getting bigger. They almost look more like green leaf than head lettuce, but you know, I've never actually tried to grow iceberg before, so. And yeah, it's a little warm out, so there's the air conditioner. Radishes are getting nice and big. Let's see if you can see a little bit of the radish there. Not bad, that'll help. I'm gonna let it get big. The carrots are getting bigger, that's nice. Let's look at the 6-packs here. We got 5 of the melon. That's nice. Nothing in nasturtium yet, but I got other nasturtiums. The scallions, I think I just have the one. Wow, the pumpkin, I got 4 out of 6. And, watermelon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I went out of frame there. Hopefully you can see the upper middle, the upper right, the lower left, and the lower middle. So I got 4 of those. So the only thing that hasn't popped is the nasturtium. And a squash, I've got 3 spaghetti squash. We had some spaghetti squash last night, not these, but that was good. Cucumbers, Swiss chard's getting bigger. Spinach, yeah, is over there, kind of hiding. The chives getting bigger. We've got the cucumber, and I'm gonna guess those are weeds right there. Let's see, up above. 1 corn, 2 beans, no squash. Still no corn, 2 good-sized beans, and no squash. 2 blank labels, I need to deal with that, but 2 beans, no corn, no squash. And over here we do have finally the patty pan. I got I think a couple of them growing now. And a corn and 2 beans, but still no yellow dent. So I don't know what's going on with that. Let's head to the back and see what that looks like. Alright. Still got the variegated flower there. That is nice to have something other than just orange. And yeah, it's looking like black creme are doing okay. The basil are getting a little bigger. The Roma tomatoes are doing okay. I wonder what happens if I move this rock now. Will it stay up on its own? Hey! It's standing up on its own, so we'll put the rock back there. And yeah, I can see little signs of basil in there. Then we got the cherries. And there we go. The tomatoes are starting to look a little bit more like tomatoes. In fact, that one down there is starting to look a little more. So that's good. Peppers, let's see. That could well be a pepper sprout, as well as that one over there. Or grass, but actually that looks more like grass. Now I think I'm starting to see the difference between them. And where did it go? I thought I saw another basil sprout, but I'm not going to worry about basil because I got plenty of it. Let's see. Not seeing much in here. I probably need to clean out this bed a little bit, get some of the miscellaneous stuff that has fallen out of the way. Nothing in the poblano yet, I don't think. Though I know it got some water this morning, so I'm happy with that. This looks like it's already dried out and it got watered this morning. Let's see, giant Marconi. We're looking for giant Marconi. We're not finding giant Marconi. How about the Nikita hybrid? No, mostly weeds. There is one tiny little one down there. Maybe. And it's already got the basil plant. So that's what the veggie garden is looking like. Let's now talk about what we're going to do today. Deadheading and weeds. That's what we're going to deal with. The iris Ooh, this one's out of bloom, whereas the other one still has some bloom. So I'm going to deadhead some of those and cut it back slightly. I don't want to cut off viable buds just yet. But once I get that done, then I'm going to, I guess, climb up behind it. I may end up sort of digging out a little area so I have a place to stand or sit or put my feet while I'm sitting to brace myself so I don't come sliding down the hill. The sprinklers went off this morning. I don't really feel like sliding. So, yeah, let's just set up and get that going. That took some effort. Whew, especially that last part. I had to climb up from another direction up onto the hill, but I wanted to get at least the majority of that grass out of there. There's still little bits and pieces, and actually I'm looking at one hanging in the orange tree that I guess I tossed down. And anyway, that may be it for today. I mean, there's still a ton of weeds to go after. There's still all this to deal with, so which I actually pulled not all that long ago. I mean, you go back however many episodes, you'll see me pulling most of that out, and it grew back. So that's the problem with this grass, is it just keeps coming back. But now I've also got some options to look at in terms of like trying to put some little holes in the middle of that hillside there and figure out where I'm going to plant some other stuff in the 6-packs, like the watermelon and the spaghetti squash and so on. But I'm also debating whether it makes any sense to maybe dig a little hole at the edge at the top of the hill there where I got the walkway, because if I can get the plants to kind of cascade down the hill, that might almost make sense. But I need to do some thinking. So I think that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Good Friday morning to you. Let's see what's up in the garden. I got about a dozen things I want to try and get done. Probably won't get them all done today, but let's see. I mean, the lettuces are about the same. The carrots are definitely starting to get bigger. Radishes, I'll do what I did yesterday. You can kind of see how big it's getting just from that. It may be pushing itself up. Spinach, I'm not seeing more than just the one. Cucumber, Swiss chard, chives, more cucumber, pretty much the same. Still nothing for squash or corn. Really, I'm just looking for changes here. And no change there. No change there. And yeah, these pots, I'm going to have to move these pots around, but no real change there either. So I'm starting to think the yellow dent corn is either a total dud or it sprouted underground. I did a little reading and it looks like if you plant them just a little bit too deep, or if they get too wet when they're germinating, they can just sprout underground and die. So if the leaves don't penetrate through the top, it's also possible there's a crust on the top. If they can't penetrate through, then they pretty much just die underground. So we'll see. Let's head to the back. And I will say I've noticed more cats coming through our yard. They seem to just avoid the planter. It's not like they come up to it and then run away, but they're kind of avoiding. So let's kind of go in the opposite direction we normally go. Yeah, I can see what might be a pepper there. Not much progress here. No sign of poblanos. Wow, this looks like just mostly weeds in here. And maybe one pepper down there. These are starting to definitely look more like possible tomato seeds here. And let's see. Yeah, I'm believing these are tomato seeds here. So the black creme, the aromas, I'm happy. Basically all the tomatoes seem to be growing now. The peppers, the main thing is the cherry pick. I'm not getting much there. But among other things, I think I need to cut back the nasturtium again. Maybe I'll stick it in a bag and throw it in the fridge, just so it's not blocking out the sun for the others. Really, the only thing that hasn't germinated is the cherry pick. But maybe I'll do a little bit cleanup here. What else? Oh yeah, at some point in the next few days, what I want to do, I still need to build like a box that'll fit in here. Though actually, I mean, at this point it almost doesn't matter because the nasturtium is just taking over that area. But I have an empty spot here, so I'm thinking I want to get this. The whole intention was to fill it all up with boxes, and if I can get one more in here, that'll make me happy. What else? Well, ultimately there's all the weeding that still needs to get done. It was supposed to get really hot next week, and then the forecast just miraculously changed. Hey, buddy. Can you get any closer? Nope. Well, where was I? Yeah. So I've got a bunch of things on my mind that I want to get done. I think I might as well attack the weeding, at least on that side, up to the fence maybe. If I can get that done today and then move on to some other things, that'll make me happy. One down, umpteen to go. That takes care of the weeds up to the fence. I've still got to get the weeds in the backyard there up along the hill. You can still see a bunch of it up there. But and I had to kind of carve out next to the fence because ultimately we don't want the bottom of that fence buried, and you can kind of see that it is. So I'm going to have to excavate out around it and then pull a lot of that ice plant out. And I think what I really need to do is channel it out well enough that I can maybe put some kind of barrier in there, whether it's going to be concrete block or I don't know, or just keep channeling it out. I've done that a number of times already, and it just the soil just kind of moves and falls over there, and then the ice plant grows in it. It's probably been a good year since I've done that. Anyway, that's that. The next up, we've got, swing around here. I've set up another one of these flats, whatever you call them, with a bunch of used 6-packs, because I have some seeds that have arrived in the mail, and these are ice plant. Speaking of ice plant, I looked it up, and turns out, yeah, you can buy seeds to grow the ice plant, and there are a few different varieties, and it looks like ice plant is mostly native to Africa, but I ordered it up, and to my surprise, trying to set this up so you can see it without showing you who I bought it from necessarily, that is supposed to be 150 seeds. Yeah, they're itty bitty little seeds, so I thought about it a little bit and realized I could try and plant them in various different places, but there's absolutely no way to control it because they're so tiny if I plant them directly. But if I fill up these 6-packs and try and drop just a few seeds in each one, then I'll have a little bit more control, and I'll have 36 of these to play with. So that's what I'm going to do next. Didn't go exactly how I planned, but yeah, when I went to water them, the water just kind of like slicked across the top there. So I'm hoping it didn't wash away the seeds. I've only used about half of what I have. So, I mean, it's 75 seeds and 36. Yeah, that makes somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't know. They're so tiny, it's hard to really tell. So you just kind of broadcast them about as evenly as you can and hope for the best. And then I put it over behind a green garbage can in that area that I cleared out last week, or was it the beginning of this week? It's all kind of getting to be a blur. So that takes care of that. Now the next thing is, well, let me show you in the back. Okay, this one's pretty simple. If you've been watching, you know that I stowed a bunch of dirt back here when I was finishing up the terracing. I just had a pile of dirt that hadn't been sifted and no room to put it. But there's an area back here where I could build up the soil behind the rose bush and the bottle brush and the, oh, I forget what it's called already, but back in this area. And what I have noticed, while I've been having problems just sort of getting it, capturing and then backing up the video of the cats that have been hanging around here. I've got a new solution for that on the way. Actually should arrive today. Hopefully I'll get it up and running in the next day or two. One more thing to do. But they seem to be, when they crawl up and when they jump up onto the wall here towards the tomato and pepper garden, they tend to just kind of jump right across it or go right around it. And I think maybe the lemons may actually be having an effect. So I think what I'm going to do, because I think what they're actually doing is they come back here and they're staying in that area, and I think they're using it as a bathroom. So I think I'm going to put a couple more lemons. I've got a couple more that have fallen off the tree. I'll cut them in half, and I'm going to put them on either end of this, so hopefully they'll just be discouraged from using this area as a bathroom, and we'll see how that works. Done and done. That was actually pretty simple. It's just a matter, I don't have a knife, like a gardening knife. Maybe I should look into that. But I just wanted to get that done, get a few of them up there, and we'll just see if it has any effect. All I'm doing is just using the cultivator to cut them in half, which is a little ham-fisted, but gets the job done. So I think that's it for today. I've got other things I got to do, but they're not really gardening related, so I think I'm just going to wrap up here, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Good Saturday morning to you, and let's take a look at what things look like. Wow, those radishes are really starting to grow quickly. Yeah, definitely getting bigger. Let's see what we got in the 6-packs. No nasturtium yet. Everything else seems to be about the same. I think I might have one more pumpkin germinated here. Oh! Total success on the spaghetti squash. I got all 6 of them. Wow. Alright. And yeah, the cucumbers are starting to look a little different. We've got a different leaf there now. Swiss chard's getting bigger. That's probably from the orange tree there. This is a tiny little orange that didn't survive. What else? We've got the other cucumbers. I think today I'm gonna try and get some of these labels dealt with. Let's see if there's any changes up here. Ooh. I wonder if I'm actually seeing something sprouted in the yellow dent corn. That would be nice. And I can't tell if there's another one back there. Still no squash. Kind of hard to tell. Still no squash, so I'm starting to think it's probably Monday I'm going to end up planting a few new seeds. But yeah, about the same. And that one's still alive, so we're good there. Let's take a look in the back. Okay. Not much different in here. That might be a pepper down there. It's so tiny it's hard to tell. No, well, unless that's something there. I don't know. I really need to clean some of the garbage out of these. Especially the bottle brush is dropping a ton of stuff. But let's see. I'm guessing most of this is weeds. I mean, that would be in about the right position to be a pepper based on the way I was planting them. And there's something else that looks like it popped right there. So maybe cherry pick. And yeah, maybe something there. Yeah, definitely looking more like the smaller ones are starting to look more like actual tomato plants. And ooh, I have a flower on the Roma plant. Really? I got multiple flowers. Nice. A little unusual. They're not all that big. I mean, the plants aren't all that big, so I don't know if they could support an entire tomato, but we'll figure that out. And yeah, everything's pretty much the same back here, so that's what that's looking like. And I think I'm gonna be getting other things done today, plus the sprinklers went off this morning, so I don't see a point. What on earth? I'm looking up there at that plant. I don't know what kind of plant that is. I don't think I planted anything. It's behind the pot. It's not in the pot. So, anyway, I got other things to do today, and like I was saying, the sprinklers went off, so everything's wet. Not really worth getting up, and it's overcast right now. I don't think it's going to rain, but just kind of miserable weather to actually work in the garden. I could, but I think I'm just going to take a break. So, that's it for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Good Sunday afternoon to you. Got a few things done this morning. Let's see what's up in the garden. Wow, nice and bright out here. Among the things I've managed to get done, yesterday I went through and I watched a lot of video, of my own video, just to make sure that my tags now have the date when things were planted. So that'll help me with things like, okay, this one is saying 5/10. That means if today is the 30th, that means it's been 20 days, almost 3 weeks since I planted this. And it helps me to figure out, okay, certain things haven't germinated yet. What should I read into that or not? Let's see. I just want to look at some of these also. You can see that the radish is getting that much bigger now. No major change along here, but just having those numbers is really going to help me in the future, because I keep asking that question, how long has it been? Up above, I've not done some of the tags because I have an idea when I planted the squash is basically when I planted everything else up there. And I'm thinking that tomorrow I'm probably going to replant some things because it'll be 3 weeks. And since I don't have sprouts on a number of different things, including the yellow dent corn, I don't have on any of them. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I've only got squash in the front and on one end and not on the other end. I mean, none of the rest of them. So none of my squash have come up except for the brand new patty pan seeds that I got. So not sure what to make of it, but I think I'm just going to replant. I'll also tomorrow I'll do a very careful excavation, because like I had said before, I read up that corn can actually die without popping through the surface. It can sprout because you plant it just deep enough. It can start to sprout and then die before it gets to the surface. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. Maybe they're just dud seeds, or I did something wrong. I don't know. But that's what it's looking like here. And let's head to the back. I'm also planning on doing some hardscaping and kind of finishing up some of the work I'd done before. Let's take a look here, because now I know that the black cream tomatoes were planted on 5/10, May 10th, but the Roma were planted on February 12th, so really 3 months apart. So 3 months to get from that to, trying to show you, and they're getting tangled, to that. And actually I also noticed that there are some flowers on here. And actually, speaking of flowers, just a slight detour, cactus flowers. Those look really nice. So I'm going to get them on video here so we have a record of it. Yep, that's looking good. But yeah, so now you kind of get the idea why it was so important to me to get that done. And it took a lot of watching of my old videos to figure out. Nothing on the poblano, no real major changes. But it feels good to have that information. I think I need to get some water on these plants. But with that, I think I'm going to wrap up for today. I need to unload some stuff and bring it to the back so I can get some work done later this week. But tomorrow is Memorial Day. I think I'll take it easy tomorrow. Saturday Tuesday I got a bunch of plans, so it may be Wednesday before I get back to anything. But I can, in the meantime, deal with editing some videos and getting some stuff posted. So there's going to be a little bit of a flood coming. With that, yeah, I think I'll wrap up for today. So let's see what tomorrow brings.